Bill, we're talking about the human body and about the kidneys. You're one of the smartest guys I've met on health and nutrition. And here's Bill. Here's his number right there. Write that number down, knowledgeofhealth.com, 909-593-9501. And we'll give that again later. Bill, I've been talking, we just started here. I was going to talk about the kidney. You've been studying health for longer than I've been alive, probably. Tell us about the kidney. What keeps it healthy? What problems do people have, and how do they fix it?
It's a big problem in America. Most of it is autoimmune. That is, your immune system attacks your kidneys. And this is of acute interest when I'm on the radio talking about it. It gets more phone calls than most other topics. Many people suffer with it, especially people with diabetes. I've been able to suggest to people 3 remedies from nature that God made the molecules that will take people off of the transplant list to get a new kidney. We'll give those in just a second. But the big cure for everyone who has kidney problems, the kidney is a filter. So it can calcify. If you got a lot of calcium in your body, then it clogs up just like a drain in a sink does. So you can clean it out. And so the big thing is to start with baking soda. And this came from the Medical College of Georgia earlier this year. And they took people with kidney disease and gave them a half a teaspoon, 2,000 milligrams of sodium bicarbonate. Yes, you have it in your kitchen. And you take that with a half a glass of water on an empty stomach, probably the first thing in the morning, and do that for 2 to 4 weeks. And we've received astounding results from doing this. And anybody with any autoimmune disease, now that includes psoriasis, skin problems, thyroid, almost all thyroid problems, or Hashimoto's, autoimmune thyroiditis, even macular degeneration of the eye. Many, many conditions are considered autoimmune. So in order to conquer them, you have in your body a spleen. The spleen, so we look at your trunk, your heart's on your left side, your liver and gallbladder right underneath your right ribs. On the left side is your spleen. And the spleen holds extra red blood cells. It recycles them. If you're running, it'll squirt them out because you need extra oxygen at the time. But the spleen has a nerve layer. And if we will just take sodium bicarbonate, it shifts our stomach and digestive tract to an alkaline state temporarily. It's really going to force the stomach then to go back to a very acid state to prepare for the next meal, because we need stomach acid to break down, absorb all of our nutrients, and get our food digested. So it's really the opposite, the acidity that comes from it. And there's a nerve layer in the spleen, and it affects it, and it shuts off all the autoimmune problems in the whole body, regardless of whether they're in your eye, your kidneys, your thyroid, or whatever gland they may be in. So the baking soda cure is new. They're starting to use it in modern medicine, believe it or not. If you can't hold your hand still to get some older folks can't, to get a half a teaspoon, or you forget what the dose is, you can call lifespannutrition.com. That's a company I started, and you can get some very cheap in a capsule, so it gives you the right dose. But for most people, they have baking soda at home, and they're able to do it themselves, and it's a wonderful way to conquer autoimmune disease. If you are on a kidney transplant list, or you are now getting dialysis, or afraid they're going to put you on the dialysis list, then here's the 3 remedies. You go to the health food store and you get some IP6 rice bran extract. That's letter I, letter P as in Paul, 6. It's a rice bran extract. It'll chelate or cleanse the excessive calcium that's been loading up in your kidneys, and it'll clean that out. You also get some vitamin B1, and you have to get the fat-soluble form as benfotiamine. I'll send all this to Creation Science, so it's on their website, and you get the fat-soluble form of vitamin B1. That prevents all of the sequelae, we call it, the consequences of diabetes in your nervous system, which we call retinopathy in your retina, cardiomyopathy in your heart, nephropathy in your kidneys, and peripheral nerve or opathies in your nerves. So you need the vitamin B1, and then you need some lignans, Lignans, from flaxseed. You can get flaxseed meal. It has more lignans in it, and also high lignan flaxseed oil. So the flaxseed oil, the vitamin B1, and the IP6 rice bran extract will cleanse your kidneys and will give all that to creation science evangelism so that you have those three. Go down to the health food store and get them. If you need coaching, call my number, 909-593-9501. We're happy to talk to you free of charge on behalf of creation science evangelism. We know a lot of people are suffering and they don't need to. Modern medicine doesn't have all the answers, unfortunately, and we're giving away this answer today. Make your kidneys healthier. A lot of folks have kidney problems. We hope we just shared a solution for you that you can do at home, perfectly safe for you to use.
Well, thank you, brother. Now, some people get kidney stones, and the way I remember it is IP6 will help dissolve them. So IP6.
That's right.
IP6
Researchers in Spain showed unequivocally, that means without a doubt, that the IP6 rice bran will take and dissolve the stones in the kidneys. And you should take some vitamin C with it as well. But it's a wonderful way to get rid of the kidney stones. Again, that's all in the medical literature. I can send anybody the information, and they can see for themselves if they want to take it to their doctor and they're still reticent. They just heard about this online and they're not sure. I'll send you the information and you can take it to your doctor. But it's perfectly safe to do. It won't hurt anybody. And these are all over-the-counter remedies you can get at a health food store. And it's a great way to save a lot of money, too.
And I remembered it, IP6 is better than IP rocks.
Yeah, that's right. Well, IP6 is nature's mineral chelator, and meaning it attaches to loose minerals in our body. And the reason why we get old, if you've stood and shake your fist at the sky and say, God, why do I have to get old? Well, you don't have to get old so fast if you learn how to control minerals in your body. And I'm just going to give you the quick answer why you get old. As you're growing, you need all the minerals you can get. Iron for red blood cells. You're going to make millions of red blood cells a second in your bone marrow. You need all the copper you can get to make connective tissue and all the calcium you can get to make bones. As soon as you're fully grown, you start to accumulate excess minerals. And so men, particularly, 1 milligram of excess iron per day of life. Well, the women are protected by God from getting old or from these problems because they have to be the baby carriers. So they dump the iron once a month in their monthly cycle. We call that bloodletting. If we do it and like they did with George Washington and take some of the blood out of his system, but that's where the iron is. And so the women have iron control naturally, and therefore they remain healthy and they live longer. That's the main reason why. And by the age of 40, a man has 4 times as much calcium. Again, a woman donated her calcium to build a whole new skeleton in her baby, so she doesn't develop excess calcium. So the men have 4 times as much calcium and twice as much iron in their body by the age of 40, and they have double the rate of diabetes, cancer, and heart disease. If a woman has an early hysterectomy and doesn't have a monthly cycle, then she'll get the same rate of disease as men. So the reason why we get old is we accumulate iron, copper, and calcium. If we eat a little less dairy, particularly for men, a little less red meat, which has highly absorbable iron, and we back away from those foods a little bit, we are going to live longer. So just a little tip. Why do we get old? It's because of minerals. IP6 is the body's master chelator. You'll find it in Bran. It's like Bran cereal, but you want to get the extract of it and do a IP6 rice bran cleanse maybe once a year after the age of 40, particularly for men, and take the excess iron and calcium out of your system. It won't take the iron out of your red blood cells or the calcium out of your bones, just the excesses.
Now, is all this on your website, knowledgeofhealth.com?
A lot of it you can find there, or if you need direction, you can email me at bsardi@aol.com, bsardi@aol.com, bsardi@aol.com. I'll be happy to answer your questions. I get flooded with all this, so it's going to take me 2 days to catch up, but we'll catch up with you. If you can't get through to me, I will try and call you back, but please persist in calling because it's difficult for me to catch up with everybody. So,
all right.
But we are trying to help you understand how to stay healthy, how to serve God more years, and how to keep it from robbing your pocketbook. So these are all safe things to do that I've done in my own life, shared with many people. And, of course, we want to live long in the service of God. Soon we'll be telling you a few things, how the biblical patriarchs, why they live so long, and maybe even ways we can accomplish that ourselves. So the Bible is true. The biblical patriarchs did live an unusual number of years. That has been an embarrassing point for most people in Christianity to explain it. We'll soon be on Creation Science Evangelism telling you why and how that happened.
All right. Hey, I'm coming to California, I think, a tentative meeting, middle of December. So, L.A. area.
Wonderful.
You're down there. What city are you in?
I'm east of Los Angeles near Pomona, California, or Ontario, California.
Okay.
I live in a little town called Laverne, and I recall all the wonderful days we had with you in our home as we helped you sell books and do things with the churches. We're pleased to hear you're going to be here again, and we'll make sure we raise the flag, and a lot of people will come.
Now, I've heard you have some heathen in that part of the country. Are there some still?
A few heathens here and there. Yes, we do.
We'll work on that.
Endless counting of heathens.
Two more things. I know you don't mention it to people, and I wish you would, but you sell a lot of these products that are top quality, and so when people call you, you'll tell them get IP6, but you won't tell them that you also sell it, so I'll tell them.
Well, we send people to Purity Products who sell a lot of the things that I formulated, the products that I formulated, and you can go to purityproducts.com and find their hyaluronic acid formulas that I formulated for them. Or I'll steer you to other places. I don't sell all these things, but my first rule is not to have my hand out, but to be in the service of God. We're to be a living sacrifice. And I know a lot of people have very few pennies in their pocket. So we're not here to make money first. We're here to lead you to the best way to solve something with limited dollars. And we want you to use your money, give it to Christ, give it to your church, and not have to give it to the healthcare system. So we're happy to talk with you. I appreciate everybody wanting to reciprocate with me, and we will try to lead you to the best places you can do all this so you have the choices. And we're not here to just take money out of your pocket.
Okay. Last question. Sometimes people have damaged kidneys and they get a kidney transplant, either from a cadaver or a willing donor. It's interesting, they transplant the kidney and they don't put it in place of the other ones. They just tie it right into the bloodstream. It's lower down. I got a picture up on screen here. If someone has already had severe damage to their kidneys or has even lost function altogether and is on dialysis or has had a kidney transplanted into them, same protocol? What do you suggest for them?
Some of the same protocol. You want to keep it working and cleanse it out, but you have now an autoimmune problem because you have a kidney from someone else, and the body is going to attack or reject it. They put you on anti-rejection drugs. However, better than the prednisones, steroids, and other anti-autoimmune type of medicines that are very severe and harsh is there are two natural remedies that normalize the immune response. One is vitamin D. You'll want to take something like 8,000 to 10,000 units of vitamin D. That's a very low dose. You'll make 30 or 50,000 units. You'll make 10,000 units of vitamin D in the sun if you go out in your swim trunks at midday noontime in the summer. So you shouldn't be afraid of 10,000 units of vitamin D in a pill. They actually give 300,000 units to women in one dose for wintertime protection. So that never causes a side effect.
Okay.
So 10,000 units of vitamin D and resveratrol. Resveratrol. It's a red wine molecule. And those two work together. You can get these both at a health food store. And the resveratrol, again, works with vitamin D to normalize the immune response. And as they say, you wouldn't need all those anti-rejection medicines if you just took those two natural remedies.
All right. Brother, you've been a blessing. Give your phone number one more time.
909-593-9501. I am in California. Some of you are calling me at 4 in the morning, but it's okay. I'm usually up at that time, too.
Listen, we need to explain this to some of the listeners, Bill. The world is round, okay, and it's different time zones in different parts of the country, right?
For those people who believe in the Flat Earth Society, if you will look in the sky, you will see a shadow when the moon's up there, and on the shadow part, you'll see it looks slightly curved, and that'll prove to you that the shadow from the Earth onto the moon, that the Earth truly is curved.
That doesn't prove it to him, brother. I've argued with him. Anyway, thank you so much. Maybe we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you, brother.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, there you go. Call Bill Sardi if you got any questions about nutrition or health, and he's about to join my world where you get 10,000 phone calls a day, right? So be patient. Believe me, I try to answer all mine. How many messages just this week? I accumulated probably 25. Okay, we've been covering a variety of items that I think cannot be explained by the evolution theory. We went through the letter A. So far, nobody has explained in detail any scientific answer to any of the 4 questions I've been asking for everyone. And I think tonight is going to make them choke. Okay? A, B, C, D, E. Guys, you're not answering any simple questions. F, G, H, I, J. Now we're on K. Finishing up the K, we're going to talk about the kidney. Kidney. You have 2, hopefully. An amazing organ in your body without which you would die. Kidney failure is usually, without quick medical attention, death. So, David said, I will praise thee, for I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. And the first mention of kidneys is in Exodus 29 in the Bible. Mentioned 13 times, kidneys are. God said to Moses, Thou shalt take of the blood of the bullock, and put it upon the horns of the altar with thy finger, and pour all the blood beside the bottom of the altar. And thou shalt take of the blood of the bullock, and put it upon the horns of the altar with thy finger, and pour all the blood beside the bottom of the altar. And thou shalt take all the fat that covereth the inwards, and the caul that is above the liver, and the 2 kidneys. The fat that is upon them. On top of your kidneys is what looks like a glob of fat. It's actually an amazing gland. Anybody know the name of that gland on top of the kidney? The adrenal glands. When you get scared, the adrenaline kicks in. That's the fat on top of the kidney. God said, I want you to take the kidney and the fat that is on them and burn them upon the altar. And you can read all the 13 references. Just type in kidney in a Bible word search program. Mentioned 13 times. If you have, humans and nearly all animals have a very complex autonomic nervous system. When you get scared, someone comes up behind you, bam, your adrenaline, the adrenal glands, will send out chemicals that give you instant energy way beyond what you normally thought you had. The fight or flight mechanism, they call that. The adrenal glands are the fat on top of the kidneys, that the priests were ordered to take the kidney and that fat and burn it. Weren't allowed to eat it. So it's part of your autonomic nervous system. I think that defies an evolutionary explanation. By the way, it's interesting. Many animals, you can tell, ask Bill this question, many animals, when they get scared, their body produces vitamin C. So when the dog barks at the squirrel and the squirrel runs up the tree, it's actually good for the squirrel. It makes them healthier to get scared once in a while. So we have a blood system that filters, the kidney is the filter system that filters out your blood. We have filters all the time around. So we have filters in the air conditioner, filters in the furnace, water filters, gas filters, oil filters, coffee filters. There's an oil filter. You screw that onto your car, and change it every couple thousand miles, or the bigger ones, the canister type, or the fuel filter. There's all kinds of filters that we have on our machinery, and we think, well, yeah, of course you have to change the filter once in a while. Well, What's filtering your blood? You don't ever get to change it. Your kidneys filter all your blood. I think I read they get about a cup of blood through the kidneys. I think it was every minute. No, it's not that much. But anyway, they're slowly, constantly, all your blood is filtered about twice a day, if I recall, from reading on that. So all the blood slowly goes through the kidneys and it filters them. Keep them healthy. You want them to last a lifetime. Talk to somebody who's had to go on dialysis and they'll tell you, keep your kidneys healthy. Don't lose them. So if you get kidney stones, get IP6. It will dissolve them. IP6 better than IP rocks. Just remember that. Okay, so kidneys have a very interesting, complex internal blood supply system. They have an internal nervous system. They are also being in communication with the brain, saying, hey, I need more of this vitamin, need more of this mineral. I need to adjust the water content of the blood. Kidneys are doing all this. Who taught them how to do that? How did this evolve? And for how long did the people only have, or the creatures only have 10% or 20%? What good is 10% of a kidney? What good is 10% of an eyeball? If you can't see, you can't see. So you guys believe, the evolutionists that haunt my channel, I feel so sorry for you. I'm trying to help. I'm your best friend you've ever had, and you don't even know it. The tiny human sperm and egg has the information to build an entire working set of kidneys. What would it take? What would the instruction manual look like to tell the body to build one of these? 2 of them. How many lines of code would that take, Nick, to build a kidney? Billions and billions and billions of lines of code. This kidney is capable of growing as you grow. It filters out toxins, it regulates body water volume, and it keeps working without being changed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 90 or 100 years, hopefully.
Well, before the flood, 900.
900 years, yeah, before the flood. And you want me to join you in believing the amazing kidney happened by chance over millions of years with no designer. Ha ha ha. Who taught you to believe that? I'm going to use that guy from now on. I love it. The Jerboa. Well, let me tell you a secret. You got lied to. God designed the kidneys. Okay? And you think it's fine to force all the kids to be taught that in the public school system, or else they can't get an accredited degree. Well, if you have to believe you came from a rock to get an accredited degree, I'm not sure that means a whole lot to get a degree like that anymore. I know they're real proud of it. And, anyway, let's see if I understand your religion. The kidney came from a dot of nothing that exploded. Isn't that indeed what they teach? And slowly turned into a person with 2 kidneys. I'm sorry, it wasn't an expansion. It was a rapid acceleration. Rapid expansion. It wasn't an explosion. Rapid acceleration. This guy said, virtual particles that convey temporary mass continuously pop in and out of existence in the empty space. How can anybody with half a brain and 1 eye believe such a dumb statement? Who taught him this stuff? Anyway, the nothingness between the quarks. Oh, 90% of you, including the kangaroo or the kidney or everything else, is nothing. The universe formed by matter condensing out of energy of an inflating singularity 13.798 billion years ago. You came from energy. You are energy. You know, I used to be, but I'm losing some of it. Long days, short nights, I'm getting old. Anyway, all matter came from energy. The inflating singularity that formed the universe came from nothing. The singularity was an unstable, ultra-high energy virtual particle that spontaneously appeared out of the nothingness of a quantum vacuum. Oh, that's it, James. Use big words. That'll impress them. You came from nothing. Everything comes from nothing. Wow. Hi, I'm James St. John, University of Ohio. University of... I got to introduce him. I got Alan Guth coming right there. You like Alan Guth quote. The observable universe could have evolved from an infinitesimal region. That's a dot of nothing. It's then tempting to go one step further and speculate that the entire universe evolved from literally nothing. Now, some of the guys get mad at me in the comment section. They'll say, Hovind, you don't understand what evolution is. It doesn't involve the Big Bang. Yes, it does. It has to. What evolved? They're getting real embarrassed about the fact that the Big Bang is part of it, and organic evolution is part of your theory. You have to start with soup. Organic soup. And this is what they teach. prebiotic soup. In other words, before it was alive, there was soup, a bunch of molecules on there, and they formed under natural forces. God didn't do it. That's the code word for God didn't do it. Right there. Natural forces, yeah. The so formed organic molecules accumulate in a rich organic ocean or a soup. And then lightning strikes it or something and it comes alive. So yes, you do believe you came from soup. That is what the theory teaches. The mesoderm, which will form the kidneys, was called the nephrogenic mesoderm. The kidney as a whole is made up of two elements, the kidney duct and the kidney tubules. The kidney tubules, called nephrons, are the evolutionary modifications of the nephrita, and they are the kidney's functional units. I just Googled, how did the kidney evolve? Well, it just happened. That's their answer. Let me summarize that. It just happened. How about this one? The evolution of the kidney. It got a whole long article. They talk, and don't say nothing. You know, when I was teaching school, I knew when the kid who gave the longest answer probably knew the least about it. It's called a snow job. How many ever did that to your teacher before? Come on, get your hand up. Be honest, okay? The snow job. More words, bigger words, and the teacher they see 10 pages answer to it. I'll just count it right. You know, they can not know a thing of what they're talking about. That's what's happening with the evolution of the kidney, guys. There's talk. There's no hard scientific evidence. Now let me see if I got this straight. Some of you believe the kidney came from a dot of nothing that exploded 13.7 billion years ago and formed itself over millions of years. And you think that is science, and you are smart. And you want to teach that silly stuff to all the children. And again, the Lord knoweth the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain. You think that if only you could get everybody to believe that nonsense, it would somehow become true. And you want me to help pay your salary while you teach it. And you think guys like me that don't believe that stuff are an obstacle. I hope I am. And you want me to be happy about the situation and not argue about it. Let me think about that no, I'm done. No, not going to be happy about it. So all species evolve from a single cell. So the kidneys of all these animals, and there are different styles of the way they work. The general idea is they filter the blood and regulate the body water percentage of water in your body. They all came from a single cell. Well, I think it would be logical to say that is an orchard where all the frog kind may have had a common ancestor called a frog. And there might be 50 varieties of frogs today, and they might have come from a common ancestor. I don't know. But this is science to say their variations happen. It is nonsense and not science. It's religious belief to say it goes any further than that. But they draw these lines on paper. Oh, yes, boys and girls, the humans, the insects, the birds, all these critters, and the pine trees, and the seaweed all had a common ancestor. They draw the lines on the paper. Got to be true. So let's see. The kidney, the kangaroo, the kudzu, the kissing bug, the jerboa, the Judas tree, the Johnson organ, the intestines. We talked about all these. You guys haven't answered one question yet. Come on down. You think they all had a common ancestor. I find that most illogical. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. So for the 55th time, I'm going to ask the 4 simple questions again, knowing instead of answering the questions, they will go off on a personal attack on Kent Hovind or somebody else. Read the comment section. They avoid these 4 simple questions and go off and attack something else called a diversion. How could the kidney evolve slowly by chance, and from what? How many trillions of intermediate steps would there have to be to go from a dot of nothing to a working kidney? Is there any scientific evidence for these supposed changes besides lines on paper? So they've got the human and the hagfish having a common liver. Oh, and here's the kidney right there. Look at that. The kidney, the sea urchin and the fruit fly are related because they have a kidney. I don't know. If you can draw a line between a sea urchin and a fruit fly and a nematode, that proves they're related. Guys, how about some science, real scientific evidence, not a bunch of lines on paper? Is it more logical to believe that the kidney was created by a really smart creator? Why can't you just say, God, you're amazing? I like studying biology and anatomy and earth science and physical science. I can study everything in science and say, wow, what a mighty God we serve. Why can't they do that? I find it to be the most logical conclusion we can reach that there's a designer. I will praise thee. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Praise God for kidneys. Speaking of which, we're going to have to quit here soon.
Is that tree outside real thirsty?
I just drove a long ways, okay? The fool has said in his heart, mine are working fine. The fool has said in his heart, there's no God. And you're a fool if you don't believe in God. Whoso shall offend one of these little ones, this is Jesus talking here, which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck and he were drowned in the depth of the sea. Anybody that teaches evolution and destroys a child's faith, Jesus said, you're in trouble. I didn't say it. Take it up with him. He said it 3 times. In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word's established. Said it in Mark 9, Luke 17. When you teach something that destroys a child's faith in the Bible, you're in trouble. Big time trouble. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget God. I didn't write the book. I'm just delivering the message. You don't shoot the messenger because he delivered a message you don't like. Take it up with God. Anyway, we've covered all these verses before about how God's going to judge you for every word you speak. Every knee shall bow. Now, we're here to help. We want to help. If you're ever driving down Interstate 65 in lower Alabama, we're just a few miles off of the north side of I-65. You can Google us at Dinosaur Adventureland. Come visit us. Our website, drdino.com. Come down. If you come now, bring a hammer. We'll put you to work. There's always work to do. We have cabins. We have motorhome hookups. I think a total of 12 people come and go around here. So come on down. It's all free. We'd love to have you come visit. There's this little video you're about to see, just a short taste of what we have here in our science center, our museum, our theme park, all kinds of activities with great lessons for kids to learn, and adults too. Come join us.
For the first time.
So beautiful out here.
I mean, God sent just the right people.
I was so excited when everybody started coming over.
It's been great.
I love seeing a whole bunch of people because my heart's desire is to win people to Christ.
Fantastic. I have been blessed through all these people here.
People were really enjoying themselves today.
Good for the family, lots of fun. Come on down.